And so I made it a point, and anyone on my team, I tell them, when we step on the set, they have to know we're here for business. We're here to engage at a higher level. And so I think, I love when we have young people too. Think about what Common just said. There's a lot of roles in the executive side, whether you're in accounting, whether you're marketing. Consider going into the industry to help make change and make decisions. You know, my job is to help dictate where content goes and what we produce, but we need more black folks just in the building in general. I hate going into a meeting and I'm the only guy. I'm going to talk, Common, about transitions because you've done some great transitions in your career. I worked on Just Right, and I remember when you jumped into that role and then this role, and I saw the movies continue to grow and grow and grow.
Two people like Just Right out there. Thank you.
Yeah, no, come on now. Come on now.
Okay, more. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I see the performance here and the hate you give. So I see the growth. And then what we just saw with John Legend, who is I'm going to say it right, EGOT. EGOT. Yeah. Which is, he has an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. So if you do not understand how big that is massive. For someone that was named John Stevenson, who I used to do an independent music concert. He came and sang some songs in Atlanta. We say, this is a cool young brother that can sing. He's transitioned in a magnificent way. As we see more and more people cut across music, sports, and to film, and making that transition, what is something that will help them understand what it means to be black in this and bring our culture forward? But you have to have a difference in kind of how you move in the spaces. When you step into hip hop, you have to move a little different than when you step over into film. When you move out of film and you're doing television, it requires another level of commitment. What are your thoughts around the transition there?
Well, I think as far as commitment, all of it takes passion. You had I would suggest if you try to. For me, I didn't go into acting because I was just like, man, I want to be popular. I was actually doing hip hop music, and I felt like I hit a ceiling as far as that goes, because I was trying to do that out there music. Like this album I did, Electric Circus, and people was like, what the hell are you doing? And and I was just like, man, I got to find something else that I can express myself in. And I tried playing the piano and doing different things, and I just wasn't good at it. And I went to acting, and I felt really passionate about it. And no, I wasn't good yet, but I knew in my heart and spirit that this was something that I could do and wanted to grow at. And I think anybody that's saying, yo, if we suggesting that people get into other fields, and when you start expanding, I think the best thing we can do in the world to make ourselves happy and give the world what we're supposed to is find our purpose and contribute that purpose to the world. And if you're just going to get into producing just because you want the hype or you want to wear the fresh suits, then I don't know, man. That ain't always the best way to do it. To me, I think it's got to be some heart into it. You got to put your soul. That's where we get the best out of our lives and the products that we do, and everything we contribute. So, that's just my perspective on it. Everybody has their own path, but that's where I am with it.
Fantastic. Regina, I want to end with you before we bring up David Morgan, the president of the MMCA. And as I was going through your bio and learning more, I called. I said, I went to school with Will, with Packer, and we're good friends. And I called Will. I was like, man, tell me something about, Regina. I'm trying to find something different that's not on the paper. And one of the things that he mentioned was that he was like, man, I'm telling you, she is so smart. He's like, not only is she just educated, but he was like, she's quick, she's fast, she's witty, she can just bring it. And so when conversations come up, he was like, Regina's ready. And I was like, okay, so you mean... He did say that. He did say that. And so one of the things, when we talk about diversity in media and connecting with folks, and I'm connecting this to your ability to be, on point, present in the space, how does that translate? Sometimes I feel, and this is from a gender perspective, sometimes people get, they pull back or they say, oh, wow, this woman, she can... I'm not sure if I'm the person to connect with her, especially when you're talking to another room of other white women, white men. do you find that there's sometimes a ability for you, a window for you to go forward, or do you think it creates them, it pulls them back where they're a little concerned, like, okay, we're not sure how to treat her?
Fortunately, I have not found that. I've really found that people, in rooms when we're engaged in conversation that is helpful towards what we're all trying to do, I haven't really found that people pull back. I mean, one of the things about Will that's so amazing is the amount of opportunity, that Will has provided, and especially, well, for everyone, but especially for me. Will gave me just recently my first time to be able to executive produce, and thank you. And the reason that was exciting was, one, it was a great opportunity, but I also always felt heard. I always felt heard in those rooms when we talked about, trimming and scripts and ideas, and it was wonderful to be able to have Marseille, who is such an amazing actress. She's young, she's 13, and then Issa Rae, which are, those are two different generations than I am, and actually be able to be like, how can I make what they're doing even better? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So what can my talent or wit or whatever Will said, how can that serve this project, and how can it serve, the movie, the women, the talent, and so I find that there have been a lot of men and a lot of women who are actually open to receiving the ideas, and sometimes wit has helped because it hasn't felt maybe heavy-handed, maybe because it's been subtle, and sometimes people can handle the subtlety more than they can handle it receiving it in other ways. So it hasn't been and I mean when to use it too. You always learn to read a room, and discernment is, what do they say? It's a gift of the Spirit, but you also know that, it's necessary. So, I mean, the opportunities have been there, and I just, Will's not here. But, one of the things about Will is he's so smart, and Will really knows when to allow someone to have an opportunity to grow like he is. Will's present, too. Look, it sounds like I have a Will affair. I'm like, Will is so sweet. No, but, no, it's just been, being able to use that part, which is you, and and allow it to serve what you do, it's great.
Fantastic. Thank you much. Give our panel a hand again. Now I would like to bring up David Morgan, the president of the MMCA.
Thank you, Terrell. Wasn't that dope?
Is that it?
Wow, look at God. When we envisioned bringing Hollywood and Washington together to tackle this really important issue and move the needle on media diversity, this is what we envisioned. Thank you to this amazing panelist for bringing us this love. I have my beautiful wife in the audience, Kavon Small, and I brought that up because why this is so important to me. We have a 4-year-old son, beautiful black boy, and my biggest job is to make this a better world for him. I want him to dream and imagine enormous dreams. I want him to believe he can be Common, Russell, Sheriff Demings, Congresswoman Demings, Angie Gates, executives, everybody that he can be, and Tiffany Norwood. We can dominate every space, and our kids, black and brown kids across the country, need that. So they need us. So here's my call to action. We need your help. We're trying to build a tribe. Our website is MMCA DC. Our social media is at MMCA DC. There is currently a resolution in Congress that Congressman Demings is pushing. And this is important because what it does, it reaffirms Congress's commitment to this issue and encourages these type of conversations and actually designate a full month to focus on media diversity and awareness. So my ask is that you guys get engaged, sign our petitions. We have a petition. And more importantly, we want to do a campaign on social media where you go on and just tell us why you care about this issue. And it's at MMCADC, I care about media diversity.org. And we'd like to build this movement and this tribe. And thank you all so much. But I was going to take the privilege of bringing up the Congresswoman, but I'm going to have Terrell take some questions because I hear the audience is dying to hear some from the panelists, and we got some extra time. But Congresswoman, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take 2 questions. Now, let me be clear. Let me be very, very clear. These need to be questions, and they better be good. So I'm going to take 2. Well, she done ran to the mic. You raising your hand. You got to move. My 2 people are at the mic. So, again, very specific, direct, and good question. Otherwise, we're going to boo.
Bring on Sandman.
Hi, this question is for Regina Hall. I went to the
I'm sorry, what's your name?
Michelle Coker. I'm with Open Voice Media. So I met you very briefly at the American Black Film Festival when you were their ambassador, and I handed you my card on the red carpet. And I said I had a wonderful story idea for you and Kevin, and I still do.
I think I do remember that.
And so how do I get in contact with you or in the room with you or a conversation with you to share that idea?
They about to, you see, you're about to get booed. Now, I'm glad you're bold enough to get to the mic and ask that question. That's a great question.
You know what? I love that you did that too, and these are the opportunities you have to take it. So, you know what? I'm going to get your information today, and I will read your script. Absolutely.
There it is.
Thank you.
Go
Thank you
ahead.
so much.
Good job. Now, hold up.
I have a script too.
Hold up. Is this question about your script?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. But make sure there's a question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
I am Keisha V. Nelson. I am co-owner of Black Broadway Performing Arts Company with my husband, Cleveland Nelson. We work here in DC, and we expose our students and partnering with agencies and schools in the community to teach them performing arts. My question, I'm getting the eyes. I appreciated hearing about your value of mentorship and leveraging your resources to reach back. And I was wondering what community-based projects you all are connected to and interested in supporting.
Now, that's a good question.
Oh, good question.
For me, I have a foundation called the Common Ground Foundation.
Yes.
And it's based in Chicago. And man, what we do is we mentor youth. Like, we mentor them for academic purposes, character development. Now we've added the social impact component, health and nutrition, and we found it to be very beneficial. Our graduation rate has been 100%, meaning the kids we started at 14, all of them have ended up going to college. God bless the soul of one we lost to the streets, but man, like, I've noticed the reason why we even did this, and the reason why I feel like it's important that we tie into our youth is, like, for me, the reason I was able to do something, I grew up on the same South Side they did, but because I had somebody that was like, hey, you can do something in life, or, you know, when I was tripping, I still had somebody that was inspiring me, and I had you know, they say eyes on the prize. I had something to look forward to in a prize, and we just want to give our children a prize to look forward to and expose them so they can discover what that prize is. And that's what I've been tied into. And also Imagine Justice, where we do we work on a lot of criminal justice reform projects. We've been going into the prisons in California and meeting with people in prisons in California and listening to them, and we did a few concerts and we helped get some bills passed in California. Yes. So don't test the gods.
And just to say a little bit about what we're doing in Atlanta with WSA and Kairos Films, which is our production company, we're still ushering in interns. We're still very committed to training the next generation of filmmakers. Filmmaking is what I'm passionate about. And in 2019, we'll be partnering with the DeKalb Entertainment Commission in terms of also getting the word out more. And because Atlanta's been hit by like this burst of filmmaking, and we're playing catch up in certain ways to make sure that we can support all the work that's coming there. I am committed, and my company's committed to making sure that people who look like us have a great shot at the job because they're qualified, not because of what they look like.
So now, if you will stand to your feet, I'd like for you to give a hand clap of appreciation for Representative Val Demings.
Thank you. Everybody, let's give it up for our casting director and producer and this all-star cast. Come on, let's give it up for them. And what about our moderator? If you all would indulge me for just a minute, I also, I do nothing by myself. I really don't. We all have somebody who's behind us, in front of us, beside us, that are helping us out. Y'all help me just recognize my staff. Staff, wave your hand. Wendy Anderson, Chester and Sandra in the back. Someone I wish was on my staff, Natalie Leary right here in the front, and Lisa wherever you are. Thank you all so much. Let's also give David Morgan and his team from MMCA a round of applause again. Thank you to all of you. I ask one favor. One favor as a member of Congress. We're getting ready to do a deep dive into this phenomenal movie, The Hate You Give, at 3 o'clock. Please join us for it. Thank you all. God bless you. Thank you.